Welcome to Hank's Place. I have been sharing chapter titles from Michael Card's wonderful book, A Violent Grace. Our chapter title today is, He Was Wounded So I Could Be Healed. John records that Pilate handed Jesus over to be flogged. Matthew and Mark handed over to be crucified. Totally barbaric practice. And the Romans had no limit to the number of strokes they might hit a person with. People might die before they could be crucified, or that perhaps they died within hours, as Jesus did. Jesus, an innocent man. 1 Peter 2:24 says it very well. He himself bore our sins in his body on the cross, so that we might die to sin and live to righteousness. For by his wounds you were healed. Were healed. Virus got you down? You were healed. Cancer? You were healed. Head cold, hangnail? Healed and healed. I urge you, dear friend, look beyond the doctor or the medical reports or the symptoms, however real they may be at the moment. I ask you to look beyond and see Jesus upon Calvary's cross, with his back brutally laid open. Those cords likely tore around the front of his body also. A bloody mess, horrific torture endured for our healing. So see Jesus, and then confess your healing. Declare it is yours and you shall have it. Keep seeing Jesus and the price already paid in full. The pain that Jesus endured was the prelude to the outpouring of God's favor. By enduring the violence in that circle of hate, Jesus accomplished a very costly exchange. With each blow, he carried away our grief and our brokenness and brought back for us and for that howling mob and for every person since the immeasurable treasures of God's grace. Healing through wounding, wholeness through brokenness. That's the way of the cross. It's the way of Jesus. It's the method of an upside-down kingdom whose king dies for his subject. And there's more. He endured mockery so that we could know dignity and joy. Jesus' guards made fun of him. Herod and his men ridiculed him. The Roman centurions who flogged him jeered at him, and Jesus endured their scorning for our sake. The religious leaders scorned him in theological fashion. The crowds of passers-by shook their heads and hurled insults at him. And this was the Passover, so Jerusalem was packed with people, many, many passers-by. And yet Hebrews 12:2 declares that Jesus is the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, despising its shame. Today, see Jesus bearing your shame, my friend, and come alive.